A lot has gone on this afternoon. Plenty of updates and plenty of different situations to be talking about. Updates, big one on Lewis Hall. From what happened this morning with the breaking news of Eddie Howe, what does that mean for Lewis Hall? A couple of different updates from 3 different journalists on that situation and what's going on there. Updates on Camavinga and Tchouaméni as well this afternoon. Also, on top of that, Manchester United going for a striker even if we don't sell Joshua Zirkzee. Yes, I know. Crazy. Updates on Marcus Rashford as well and everything else going on in and around Manchester United. Get your comments in. We're live right now. If you are playing catch up, please do get involved and get into the chats. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section later on as well. If you are in the live chat right now, give me your thoughts initially on Lewis Hall. If United do go for this, they're going to have to go big on this. They're going to have to go very, very big, as we know. Ben Jacobs was talking earlier on about what scenario has to come about for Lewis Hall to move from Newcastle to Manchester United. The stars have to align a little bit for United to get in. They have to go in with serious intent to tempt Lewis Hall away. Obviously, there's a lot going on behind the scenes and a lot to discuss regarding Lewis Hall, Newcastle and everything else that's happening there. Do obviously Newcastle now back their new manager? Do they keep Lewis Hall? Do they give him this bumper new contract? Of course, it's not just left back that we need. We know we need a midfielder. Now, the update from the Real Madrid side of things, and we've mentioned this before, there is a bit of a standoff between Eduardo Camavinga and Real Madrid at the moment. And that's that he has been told he is for sale. They're looking for bids in excess of 50 million euros, which sounds really cheap, doesn't it? But he doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to leave Madrid. He loves his lifestyle in Madrid. He's got no intention of leaving Real Madrid. And a reporter here saying that the only real scenario in Camavinga leaving Real Madrid is that it could change his stance if an interested club is willing to significantly improve his current contract at Real Madrid, that he's on at Real Madrid, that is. Salary will be a key factor in any potential move. So he's only going to move if the money is right for him. That cancels him out straight away for me. I don't think that United should be looking at a player with that sort of mindset and what he sees as a reason for leaving Real Madrid. Going for the money? I'm sorry, yeah, let's just leave that one there. I don't think that's even worth going into because United are not going to spend over the top on this, on Camavinga, that is. So that one again there is very, very interesting in terms of what's happening around Camavinga. It looks like the only option out of this whole Rodri scenario is going to be Aurélien Tchouaméni. Now, we've had all of the reports, like we said this morning, we had the Real Madrid reports saying that the Rodri deal wasn't on the table when Tchouaméni was signing this new contract. Now, I don't even know if he signed it yet. The offer is there for him. He's been offered a new contract. I'm not sure if this has been signed or not yet by Tchouaméni, and the talk is kind of differing around this at the moment. So it's really interesting because there does seem to be an avenue in here for Manchester United with Tchouaméni still. Camavinga, I think he's just totally off now. I think that's done for United. Even at that cheap price, I think he's demanding too much. But a verbal agreement is already in place regarding Tchouaméni's contract, so he's not signed it. This is really interesting. If the deal falls through, the transfer fee, what Real Madrid demand, is the decisive factor, not the wages. So here we go again. Everyone's saying the financial package, the wages, and what Tchouaméni actually wants. There are reports that are playing down that initial report that Tchouaméni was on mega money on this new contract. It's not the case, by the way. Lots of people now are going in on this and saying that that wasn't as big as what people were reporting. So it isn't signed, and the decisive factor is the transfer fee. Listen to this, not the wages. An agreement with the player himself is possible. The sticking point is Real Madrid's asking price. So United again, and this is Ben Jacobs, who has been saying all along. Everyone else, Romano, all the other journalists are all saying that Manchester United will struggle with the wage package and paying Tchouaméni, and everything that would hold this deal up would be in and around the finances, the personal terms and the transfer fee. Well, Ben Jacobs is saying now, that it's just the transfer fee. That's all that's going to slow this deal down, or any potential deal from happening. That is going to be the killer part of this. If he doesn't come back and sign this contract, though, now that Rodri has actually is coming into Real Madrid, that all of a sudden puts Tchouaméni in a position where he goes, well, hang on a minute then. What's the point in me signing this contract if you're replacing me with another central midfielder who plays in the same position as me? Because Real Madrid are going to offer Rodri a decent contract, and he's going to get that as soon as he walks through the door, as we know. He's got Bernardo Silva next to him as well. Are they looking to rekindle that relationship? And maybe Valverde drops in there as well? Where does Tchouaméni fit in? So the key factors in this, and this is what's being said now, the wages that are verbally on offer aren't as much as what they originally was, and it is only a verbal agreement. Tchouaméni has not signed a contract extension yet at Real Madrid. The offer's on the table, and everybody who was talking about Tchouaméni signing this contract and getting this new deal is now backing off because of Rodri coming in, because this was not on the cards. So Camavinga wants to stay. Tchouaméni will leave if there is a restructure. It's looking like Tchouaméni might actually be the fall guy, because Rodri and Tchouaméni are very similar players. This is going to get very interesting now. This is going to get very, very, let's just say, intriguing in terms of what happens next. Because Tchouaméni, I think, is now going to be making a decision when he comes back from his break from the World Cup, which is less than 2 weeks away now. So is this going to hold up Manchester United's move for the next midfielder? What do you think? Get into the chat, everybody. Let me know your thoughts. Does this extra information now give you even more hope that Tchouaméni might actually be back on the cards for Manchester United? Really interesting development around him and what's happened here, because Rodri has definitely changed things. It's changed a lot, actually, in terms of where Manchester United might potentially be come the next few weeks.
Today, guys, we have to talk a lot about Real Madrid. Tonight, we have to talk a lot about Real Madrid, but remember, guys, first, let's restart from some bit of news around Europe, because Brentford are signing Sangaré for 41 million from Lens, because Geronimo Rulli is close to completing his move to Manchester City, exclusive news from yesterday, and now Geronimo Rulli agreed personal terms with Manchester City. The negotiation is underway with Olympique Marseille. I think next week the deal can be agreed. Now probably over the weekend there will be more conversations, but the expectation is to enter into next week and try to strike an agreement and see Gero Rulli as new backup goalkeeper at Manchester City. And then the big story coming out of Newcastle, the exclusive of the morning, is now a here we go. Matthias Gisle, according to my information, will travel on Saturday, ready for the unveiling as new Newcastle head coach. The deal is done, is agreed, 4-year contract, June 2030. Everything is in place, and I can tell you more. The compensation for Matthias Gisle to leave Al Ahly and join Newcastle as new head coach is going to be 11 million euros. This is the compensation for Al Ahly. Al Ahly are in conversations to try find a replacement. It's been a crazy day. Eddie Howe leaving Newcastle. Newcastle going for Matthias Gisle, agreement done, 4-year contract, 11 million euros compensation. And who is going to Al Ahly? Many rumors, many stories. Let me clarify something. At the moment, I'm not aware of anything advanced or concrete with Antonio Conte. I'm told that Arne Slot was approached, but Arne Slot, according to my information, has all the intention, rather than going to Saudi now, or rather to consider international football opportunities. He was linked with the Dutch national team job. Arne Slot wants to continue in European football with clubs. Arne Slot believes after Liverpool and before Feyenoord, he has the opportunity to join a new club in the near future. Could be in 2027, we will see. And so Arne Slot prefers a European club from a top league. This is the intention of Arne Slot. So things are still happening, as you can see, about coaches, about managers. Then we have to talk about Real Madrid, guys, because the big news of the night is coming out of Real Madrid. With a very fast deal, Real Madrid today hijacked the move of Premier League clubs. There were two Premier League clubs ready to pay the release clause for Carlos SP. One was Hull City and the other one was Brighton. Both clubs wanted to pay the release clause and were negotiating with the agent of the player to try bring this Spanish striker, very tall, traditional number 9, from Levante to try bring him to Premier League. But Real Madrid arrived over the afternoon, and after they sold Gonzalo Garcia to Fulham, because Real Madrid made profit with 40 million euros, 2 in add-ons, 30% sell-on clause and matching rights. This is the package they agreed for Gonzalo Garcia. Gonzalo is going to Arbeloa. Real Madrid, in the space of few hours, replaced Gonzalo Garcia with another tall striker, traditional number 9, wanted by Jose Mourinho, and this Carlos SP. Because Mourinho informed Real Madrid in the morning that he still wanted one more striker, Real Madrid called the agents of Carlos SP, told them to wait and not to sign with any Premier League club because Real Madrid had really the possibility to enter, and that's what happened. SP wanted to wait for Real Madrid. Real Madrid closed the agreement with the player in 5 minutes because it was very easy to reach the agreement on the contract. Then medical test, contract signing, and so informing Levante in the late evening about paying the release clause. So Ajax completed and Real Madrid get Carlos SP. One more signing. So for Real Madrid, exciting window for them, signing so many players. It's been a long time that Real Madrid were not signing so many players in the same window. And also, don't forget that the next one is going to be Yan Diomande. Yan Diomande will be the next signing of Real Madrid. Again, guys, sometimes in the market, I keep repeating you, as a gentleman agreement, you can let the other club go on the market and get another player before you announce the move. You can have some kind of gentleman private agreement, but believe me, the deal is done. The deal is agreed. Yan Diomande will be a Real Madrid player in few days. So relax, don't worry, Yan Diomande to Real Madrid. The here we go is 100% verbally confirmed, obviously waiting for the player to travel, have his medical, sign his contract, but the verbal agreement is in place for Yan Diomande. So he's going to be the next one. For Rodri, the conversations continue between Real Madrid and Manchester City. There have been new contacts. Many of you ask me why the deal is not getting done immediately. At the moment, Manchester City are not giving green light to 50 million euros indications from Real Madrid because, I keep telling you, Manchester City have a feeling that more clubs could join the race. So Manchester City say, before accepting everything in 5 minutes and letting Rodri go to Real Madrid, we still want to take some days to understand if there is a chance for other clubs to jump into the race. At the same time, remember the player, because then the player can say whatever he wants. The player can decide whatever he wants. Other clubs can join and the player can stop them. So that's absolutely clear. And we all know about the desire of Rodri for Spain. So that's the situation around Rodri. We will be following that one. But Carlos SP, done to Real Madrid. The situation also with Yan Diomande being clarified, negotiations ongoing for Rodri, and then the outgoings. Gonzalo Garcia, we said, to Fulham, 40 million euros, 30% sell-on clause, matching rights, and 2 million euros in add-ons. Cesar Palacios, midfielder from Real Madrid to Fulham, a news exclusively revealed here on the channel 4 or 5 days ago that they were negotiating also for Cesar. Now, Cesar, who was wanted also by Como working on the player, is going to Fulham, 10 million euros, 30% sell-on clause, matching rights. So everything has been agreed. Very, very busy for Real Madrid. Then, just quickly mentioning also that contacts continue also for Bradley Barcola. Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, agents of the player are in regular contact. The real point is going to be, guys, and as always mentioned, about the transfer fee, because in terms of contract of the player, in terms of personal terms, in terms of project, there is going to be no problem. Bradley Barcola is super keen on Liverpool. Bradley Barcola is super excited about Liverpool. The contacts are continuing. Obviously, in order to see Bradley Barcola going to Liverpool, it takes a financial big investment. And so, of course, Liverpool need to clarify how much they are willing to pay to Paris Saint-Germain in order to understand how they can make it happen, this deal for Bradley Barcola. Nothing is imminent. I know yesterday they told you, the bid is preparing, is getting ready. It's not about this. The bid will come, obviously. Liverpool want Barcola, and this bid will come as the agreement with the player will come. It's just about reaching an agreement, a financial agreement with Paris Saint-Germain. So that's the key point, and this could take some time because PSG already lost many players up front. And at the moment, they are finalizing Gakliush, but still, they lost several players, and so that's going to be important. The timing also to let Paris Saint-Germain find solutions for their own attackers. On these guys and much more, I will keep you posted as every single day. So I will see you here on the channel as always. Remember guys to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.